Something's getting in the way. Something's about the brain. I can finally find my place in the diary of Jourdain. Sorry, I've been in a Breaking Benjamin mood.
Do you want to go see Breaking Benjamin when they come to town?
No,
with Daughtry.
I don't. Actually, now I'm sold. Oh, hey.
Hi.
Welcome to Haunts, Graves, and Omens. My name is Fred Stewart. With me, as always, is my lovely co-host.
It's me. It's Taylor. Hi.
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 You don't think the ambience too loud? I think it's good?
I think it's fine. I mean, I feel like this is the level it's always at.
Okay, yeah. Also, my headphones are turned up, so it's probably just loud.
I think that might be it. Because I only have one headphone in.
Oh.
And it sounds fine.
Sounds fun.
Sounds fine.
You let me know. You let me know.
Great.
Now let's get our left from our rights checked out real quick to make sure. You know this time?
Yeah.
We're not gonna start the episode off with you saying something fucking insane.
I always say something fucking insane.
Dude,
you know this?
you said that shit and I'm not gonna say I thought less of you as a person, but I definitely had some thoughts in mind. I said them out loud. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not what humans do. You know?
Wait, listen, I'm also extra dumb when I'm tired, and we always record after I get off work.
I mean, me too.
I'm eternally tired, but I'm like extra tired this late. It's not even that late. It's like 7 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, it was just it was very funny, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Also, I have to do a thing, so I want to put it on your camera.
Oh, okay. I don't.
Do the podcast.
Okay. I don't really have anything. Cool to talk about right now. I'm gonna be at dog shows. That's fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I did a thing. I don't know if you noticed.
I
And
noticed.
if you noticed, no, the fuck you didn't. It's audio listeners won't have any idea what I'm talking about, but video listeners also want to video listeners because they also listen, but they watch. Words are hard sometimes. This is a podcast I've been doing for almost 3 years.
Words are really hard though.
3 years. Yeah, words are hard.
Do you have any news stories?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't have
We
anything.
read that.
GoFundMe for Kristen's family will be in the link in the description.
Yes.
So go check that out. Also, another friend of the network, named Oscar, was I guess this is technically news. He was a very good friend of Charlie and Marty, who I do the doc with. Actually met him at one of their shows. He was murdered just a little over a week ago. So his family has a GoFundMe out. So 2 GoFundMes will be in the description about that. And if you can donate, please do for some, for the lovely peoples. Yeah. So what was I gonna say next? Something funny. Bring the mood up. Oh, wasn't necessarily funny. Somebody said something to me today, and I figured I could tell you this before we start the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to fuck with your head as much as it did with me.
Okay. Good luck.
Marty Cowick,
Yes.
infamous man.
Know him well.
Know
yes.
him well. He's been on HGO, helped run Cameras Sound. Was technically a third host for a while, and then he abandoned us.
Mm-hmm.
So we hate him, but not a lot to say about that. But he looks at me dead in the face today and goes, the other night I was laying in bed before I went to sleep, and I was thinking about how whenever you say a letter out loud, right?
Okay.
Like A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
It always has a vowel in it. And I could see you thinking about it. I could see the look on your face.
Okay, Marty. Great.
Think about it.
I.
And you don't like it, don't you?
Not with F.
Eh.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
we ran it, dude. We ran through the alphabet twice.
X?
Oh,
yeah.
everything. We ran through everything.
I don't fucking know. I'm just trying to think. I'm like, X doesn't have one.
Everything.
No, it does.
When you say it, we say it out loud.
That's weird.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
And he thought about that shit before bed. And I was like, it's a good thing you don't take Ambien. Because, like, I was like, dude, if you took Ambien, dude, and he's having shit like that before he goes to bed, dude, he'd wake up, dude, his walls would be covered in fucking symbols. Like, what does it mean? It's like, what is a symbol? You know, it's all fucking, like, it's like ancient hieroglyphics, dude, down the wall. I must decipher what it means. Did you know that the 0 is from Arabia? You know, like, it's just shit like
it
that.
would just be fucking wild. Ambien is a wild drug.
Yeah, you know, I've never done Ambien, so I've done a lot of drugs, but I've never done Ambien. You know, I've never been like
it's a hardcore street drug.
No, I'm not.
I've never done Ambien.
I was more so thinking of like, this party's fucking lit. You know what sounds real sick right now, dude? I'm gonna do some fucking Ambien, dude. You know, like,
hey, I got some Ambien.
Hey, dude. You know what's gonna kick this party up a notch, dude? Some motherfucking Ambien, dude. Like, it's never once crossed my mind. You know?
Yeah.
It's more so now, like, hey, this party's pretty lit, dude. I should take some ibuprofen to make sure I feel good in the morning.
And then you still don't.
Yeah. No, I do.
Oh.
Take some ibuprofen, dude. Take some ibuprofen. Take some fucking anti-nausea meds, dude. Sleep like a baby. If a baby's full of alcohol. So. Anyway. In case you're wondering what the other show is going to be like, it's kind of going to be like that. But we're actually going to talk about stuff. Like, we're going to talk about stuff right now. Taylor.
Yeah.
We were debating whether or not we record tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I said, what are we covering? And you said, like, you were like, your words, your phrasing was something like, yeah, it's like time travel shit. And I was like, I'm in. I'm in immediately. Do you not label your documents? I see this is untitled. I looked in there and said they all said untitled. Do you not label shit for HGO?
Not all the time.
Are you you're a psychopath. You're genuinely a psychopath.
I forget. I do a lot of these on mobile, so I forget to like label anything.
It's, you know,
I don't even know how to label anything on here.
Now's probably not the time to be doing it.
I don't know how to label things on mobile on Google Docs, so I just don't.
Somehow every time we record this podcast, I find a different way that you're a psychopath. What are you talking? Little behind the scenes. Every single time I do an episode for HGO and I write an episode, I'll write in the, you know, what it's called. I'll be like, hey, it's fucking Cincinnati Werewolf Man. That way I'm like, that's kind of what the episode's going to be about. I'm going to do that. Taylor goes, it's fucking untitled. It's an episode about time travel. I know that's like, you'd be like, well, just name time travel. But there's like 40 fucking episodes in there that you've written all over untitled. That's insane.
I like to add a little bit of chaos to mainly my day.
I don't like it.
Well, I don't know how to change the title on mobile, so that's just how it is.
I've had it up to here with you. Anyway, what are we talking about?
We are talking about, this is from 1901.
Oh, shit.
So this is not super recent. Only mildly recent. I'm falling apart.
Over 100 years ago. It's not super recent. You know, it's like 123 years ago. You know?
Yeah.
It's not super recent.
It's not, actually. I don't know if you knew that.
Wow. Never would have guessed that one.
It's the Moberly Jourdain Incident. Do you know?
Anthony Bourdain, the chef?
No.
The horrible suicide, whatever he died from? Eating too many clams?
No.
What did he die from?
I don't remember. But
Died from something. So it's not Anthony Bourdain?
no. I said Jourdain. So
Is it a French guy?
no, it's a lady.
French lady?
I don't know if she's French. She might be.
Her name's Anthony?
No. I didn't bring up Anthony. You did.
That's why it's a comedy podcast, eh? trying to keep you on your feet, dude. Trying to keep you on your toes.
I'm falling.
So it has nothing to do with Anthony Bourdain.
No.
What's their name again?
I never even said their names.
Oh.
I just said the name of the incident.
Oh. So the incident doesn't have anything to do with their name.
I mean, it's their name is like their last names. It's two women.
Oh, it's two. Oh, we should have said that.
It's two women, and their last names are conjoined
Okay.
for like it's the Moberly Jourdain.
I don't know, dude. I thought their first name could have been Moberly, dude, or Moberly, dude. Whatever their fucking weird name is.
It's not.
Okay. Dude, coming at me hot right now, dude. I don't like it, dude. I don't like your fucking tude right now, dude. You check your tude, dude, at the fucking end of that fucking table right there, dude.
Nah, I brought it in.
Dude, I don't need your tude on this pod right now.
I'll flash my tude.
That's how you go to jail. And that's how this podcast gets removed from YouTube. You know, you start going around flashing tudes, dude. It's over. You know? I know a guy once who, back in high school, he was flashing his tude.
Yeah.
Get expelled.
Oh, shit.
Flashing his tude. Yeah, he almost got arrested.
Oh.
Flashing his tude.
Scary.
Yeah, then he brought a gun, but it was a lot.
We're off to a start today.
We're on fire right now. The rest of this podcast is going to suck.
It's the first... I can't.
You can't, yeah,
No,
you can't, there's not a fucking chance you read that, you blind fuck. Yeah, this is 13 minutes, 57
That's what I
seconds.
thought. First 13 minutes, fucking solid. The next hour and a half, sorry.
Yeah. It's a comedy podcast, baby. That's what we do here, all right? We hit you with some laughs. We make you think.
And then what?
I don't know. I think people turn it off after that.
It's fair. I get it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I get it. I definitely get it. Yeah, I say that we get dumber each week, but
yeah, we're
people still keep listening and watching,
it's true.
and we love you for it. And I'll fucking come to your house and I'll kiss you on the mouth. But that's not important. What is important is this Anthony Bourdain or whatever this shit is. Taylor.
Hi.
I'm ready to get into it.
Okay, good. In our not so recent story. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the story that's 100 years old. Over 100 years old. Yeah.
Not super recent.
You're like, it's not super recent. Yeah. We'll give it away. I can't wait for this story. We should just call this segment podcast called Edging. Be like, you guys are gonna love this thing. An hour and a half later, be like, stay tuned for part 2. Let's get into it.
Okay, so there are two academics named Charlotte Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain who experienced a strange event during a casual stroll through the gardens of Versailles in 1901. And so the women spent the next decade researching every detail from their trip, finally concluding that they had experienced a time slip. Since then, many have considered these two women as real-life time travelers. They actually have a book that's out there. But so let's kind of just jump into the actual incident here.
Yeah, I read that book.
Yeah.
Their book, yeah. I read that book.
An adventure, a true story.
Yeah, I
about
read it
time
recently,
travel?
actually. Kind of recently. I did.
A century ago?
All right, dude. I don't, listen, I don't need you fucking John Wilkes Boothing my jokes. Okay? Okay? My joke is trying to set up, dude, and just trying to enjoy itself, dude. I don't need you sneaking up behind and putting a fucking round through the back of its head, dude. Okay? And then it dies slowly. I don't need you doing that. Okay? Fucking Lee Harvey Oswald motherfucker.
Okay.
You John Hinckley Jr.'d my joke. Okay? Actually, no. I guess he didn't kill. You can see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
It's all presidents.
Yeah.
They're assassins. I don't need to explain this joke to you. Now I'm fucking John Wilkes Boothing my joke. All right, dude. Let's just...
All right. So on August 10th of 1901, Charlotte Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain went for a walk in the gardens of Versailles. As they strolled, the two women went down an empty lane searching for Petite Trianon and Marie Antoinette's Hamlet. The two ended up lost in the woods, and they asked a pair of gardeners for directions. They walked past a woman and a girl in a cottage, a pair of guards wearing capes, and a man at a pavilion. They also spoke to a gentleman with a strange accent and were scolded away from a chapel. Which all sounds pretty fucking normal, right?
Sounds like
a normal stroll in the gardens of Versailles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually heard of this story before.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So I'm starting to come back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I know where it's going.
Yeah.
They're about to go back in time. The camera's off because I slouched down. Hold on. I'm also not in focus. I really need to spend some time and fix this so I'm in focus because I'm not in focus anymore. The moment if I go right here.
In focus?
Oh, baby. Kind of.
Scoot back and you're not in focus.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's fun.
So the winding path took Moberly and Jourdain over a rustic bridge and through an arbor, and then across a meadow with long grass. Finally, they reached a lady sitting on a terrace sketching. The entire walk struck both women as completely ordinary, yet eerie. Because I don't know about you, when I go for a walk in the gardens of Versailles, all that shit happens to me.
I mean, I just get nervous going for a walk. Just in general.
You're like an under-socialized dog.
Yeah.
You just go outside and you look shaken. Like a chihuahua.
I bite. I'll leave it at that.
So Moberly wrote that, quote, the stillness and oppressiveness were so unnatural. It was almost as though we were walking in a dream. Both women described a feeling of depression and anxiety beginning when they wandered down the path. Moberly was shocked to learn that Jourdain didn't see a woman sketching on the terrace, even though Moberly swore that they sat only a few feet from her. After their journey, Moberly asked Jourdain, do you think the Petite Trianon is haunted?
First of all, dude, don't fucking ask me that. But, yeah.
Yeah, so Jourdain instantly responded, yes, I do.
I do.
At that point, the two women independently wrote accounts of their journey and started researching the history of Versailles to learn more about what had happened. They conducted research, as Moberly said, quote, with the idea of disproving the suggestion that anything unusual had happened. They eventually published their findings using pseudonyms. The ladies whose adventure is described in these pages, so the publisher explained that the ladies whose adventure is described in these pages for various reasons prefer not to disclose their real name, but the signatures appended to the preface are the only fictitious words in the book.
Interesting.
So
everything in this book is real.
Except for their names.
Except for their names.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
So when they published this book, because they didn't want to have their names attached.
So they chose these really fucking weird names, dude?
I mean, these are their real names. They came out later.
Oh, okay.
They're real names.
Yeah, weird names.
Don't bully these women.
Anthony Bourdain or whatever there.
It's not Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain and Gordon Ramsay? Is that
No.
no?
No. Not
Got chefs
close.
on the brain right now.
I see that. Hear that.
You know?
Rather. Yeah.
Heat's too hot.
He was
Stay out of Versailles, whatever the saying is.
If you can't handle the heat, stay out of Versailles.
Yeah, that one.
So, one mysterious lady had baffled Moberly and Jourdain because the main thing was, why did only Moberly see her when they both walked directly past the women? Moberly pored over her recollection, recalling her light-colored skirt, white fichu, and straw hat. In 1908, Moberly and Jourdain found the journal of Madame Elofi? Yeah, that sounds about right. Which was the Queen's dressmaker.
Yes. Bless you.
Thanks. I'm falling apart. Elofi had wrote that in 1789, Marie Antoinette had a few dresses made.
Oh, shit.
However, that summer, Elofi had made 2 green silk bodices, 1 white large fichus, and a slightly yellowed skirt. Sounds a little familiar.
Anthony Bourdain. It sounds like the lady.
It does. That actually is exactly the dress that Moberly had reported to have seen in 1901.
Interesting.
Timeline's not really adding up,
No.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the first time that she was kind of like, hold on a minute.
Hey, everybody time out for a
Time
second.
out.
Everybody time
Time
out for
out.
Hey, yo, time out.
Yeah. Is that Marie Antoinette?
Something's going on right now. Hey.
Yeah.
Favorite chef. Something weird's going on. All right. Got something wacky happening. All right.
Yeah, something super wet.
Hey, I don't know if you saw that. Something wacky is happening. Yeah, I know. So only one potentially saw
Yes.
Marie Antoinette.
Yes.
Okay.
So they saw her in the dress that was exactly described in the dressmaker's journal.
Mm-hmm.
So, the other weird thing is that when Moberly returned to Petite Trianon in 1902, she found herself again lost in the woods. As she tried to find her way back, she heard, quote, faint music as of a band not far off. There's so many things happening right now.
That's fine.
You're moving things. The dog is kicking things. I'm like...
I'm fixing the podcast set as we're podcasting.
That sounds good. She moved closer, catching the very light music with a good deal of repetition in it. And when she returned, she wrote down 12 bars of music from memory. In 1907, Moberly showed the bars to a musical expert, and he determined that they dated from about 1780.
Interesting.
It's some old-ass music.
It's some old-ass music.
So, I don't know. Moberly also interviewed caretakers at Versailles who said no bands were allowed to play in the park during the winter, which is when she went. She went in January of 1902.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, bands could only play in one location, and visitors couldn't possibly hear them from the Petite Trianon. So also a little weird. Moberly and Jourdain recalled many simple details about their trip to the Petite Trianon. They had walked across a small rustic bridge which crossed a tiny waterfall, then spotted a small circular building having pillars and a low surrounding wall. In addition, they passed through the French garden, part of which was walled in by trees. And the thing is, many of these places did not exist in the 1900s.
Because they had been destroyed or dilapidated or whatever. Yeah. I was actually, while you're talking about the Garden of Versailles, I was looking through, I mean, at least modern day age now.
Yeah.
Relatively just, it's ruins. It's great. It's like just ruins.
Yeah.
So I imagine it was probably very much similar back then.
It was probably a little more like put together, but I mean, over the course of a not so short period of time, kind of just starts to fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
was that like a not so like Nazi joke? Because like it's 1900 and then World War I happens and then World War II happens.
No.
Should have said yeah. That would have been a good bit.
Don't ask me when the war started because I don't know.
What year did World War I start?
Good question. I don't know.
Okay. Interesting though. So, I mean, but are they both seeing the same thing, but they're not at the same time? It seems.
Yes. So I mean, they do see the same thing in regards to their surroundings.
But they're not seeing the same people.
Yes.
Interesting. So it's almost like they're have almost walked through a dimensional portal into a parallel time.
Yes.
They're, I mean, who knows? Maybe days, minutes. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's just the same path. It's bizarre.
It is really weird. There's some stuff later that I'll talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So when Moberly went back to the Petit Trianon, she could never again find the places, not even the wood in which she'd been. The women eventually found a 1783 map that showed the missing sites. The bridge, pavilion, and garden all appeared exactly where Moberly and Jourdain had seen them. Both women remembered seeing a plow on the ground near a pair of gardeners. The plain instrument only stood out after they learned in 1905 that there was no plow at the Petit Trianon. It's kind of weird.
Pretty weird.
In fact, they had not been plowed in decades. The land had not been plowed in decades.
Interesting.
However, they read in Le Petit Trianon by Gustave de Jarnes that Louis the XVI is what? 10, 5, 6, 16?
Proud of you, champ.
I don't remember. I don't know my Roman numerals. I barely know my left from my right. You expect me to know my Roman numerals?
I don't, honestly, at this point, I don't expect a lot. I'm just trying to fucking piece the story together, and I'm surprised you even know how to fucking read. So, you know, like they say, like, you know, your reading ability kind of gets to a point and it kind of stops.
Yeah.
You know, like unless you're constantly reading, you can, you know,
Yeah.
your brain can evolve. You're somehow going backwards,
Yeah.
but also forwards at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you do things. It's like you know how to read things.
Yeah.
Well, not good. See, well, it's a reading thing. Anyway, you know, and then you can read all this crazy concept about time travel.
Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta figure out what the fuck, which hands are which.
Yeah.
I love podcasting.
I'm very smart. I'm doing great. So they learned that Louis XVI kept an old plow at the Petit Trianon for years, and it was sold during the French Revolution along with the king's other belongings. There's no plow there, but they saw it.
They saw it.
Everything is kind of tied into like the 1700s, late 1700s. Moberly and Jourdain eventually do locate a picture of the old plow in 1907, and they believed it identical to the one that they saw in 1901. So Moberly actually didn't identify the lady sitting on a low seat on the grass for a whole year. As she wrote in an adventure, quote, in 1902, I saw Wertmüller's picture of the Queen, which alone of all the many portraits brought back the face I had seen. For the face was more square and the nose shorter. Moberly soon learned that Marie Antoinette's companion, Madame Campan, considered that portrait to be the only picture that matched the Queen, though other people thought it did not do her justice. For Moberly, the image confirmed her suspicion that she and Jourdain had experienced a time slip.
Yeah. And this isn't the only time I've ever heard of time slips.
Yeah.
They're not, I wouldn't say they're common per se, but it's happened.
Yeah.
There's a famous story, I'm trying to remember the name of it, but of a time slip in like England.
Yeah.
Where someone like time slipped and then they were back in like 1800s England for just a brief moment.
It's so weird.
It's so weird because time's really not linear.
Right.
You know, it's not really like this is where it starts, this is where it ends. It's kind of more of like a, just kind of loops around.
It's a loop-de-loo.
Things are weird. Time isn't real, but technically it's a human-made construct.
It's true.
Nothing's real. I'm not real. You're not real.
Let's not do this.
But it is, it's a weird concept in the sense of like, why would a person be able to slip just for a brief moment?
Right. And
into a parallel time.
In this story, it's not just a brief moment either.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stories are like, it's like a quick,
Yeah.
in and out. These people walked around the gardens of Versailles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they went over bridges. They saw all these things. It was a good chunk of time.
Let me ask you a question. Were they prescribed Ambien? And were they just having a little Ambien nap?
Probably not.
In the Garden of Versailles. No.
I don't think Ambien was around then.
Yeah, cocaine was. A lot of drugs.
That was actually the cure-all at the time.
Yeah, you got ghosts in your blood? Try cocaine. it was shit like that. But it is very strange.
Now, I have a question. Do you think time slips...
Not often. Okay. Good. Do I think time slips?
Do you think time slips and, like, the Mandela effect?
Yes.
Do you think those are tied?
Yes. In a way.
In a way?
In a way. Because the whole thing about the Mandela effect is that we are, in theory, switching timelines.
Right.
Right.
But it's also, like, almost kind of like a time slip of a sort.
It is. It is more. A Mandela effect
like a dimensional change.
Is a dimensional change, and a time slip could be interpreted as that, because we have, especially when it comes to like ghost stories, right?
Right.
You go to Versailles, and like someone's be like, the ghost of the White Lady haunts the fucking island, the gardens of Versailles.
Yeah.
She wanders around. She died here in 1777, whatever. She didn't. I don't know why he's British, but be like, French.
Also, I like how you guessed the French before we even started the story.
Yeah.
You were like,
I could smell it.
Fucking French.
I could smell it. Yeah. I could tell there's something fishy going on. But I think that it's kind of like more, you go to these places, right, and people experience the phenomena of supernatural, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we talk about residual energy of these entities, these people living a day over and over again, but they don't know it. Kind of groundhogging themselves, and for some reason their spirit manifests in the modern age, and then they can interact with us.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, where they're like, there's people here and they're wearing weird clothes. Like, who are you? What are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, fucking home. And it's like that.
Yeah.
But this is very unique. It's not really a spectral anomaly,
right?
But a full on, like, you're there.
You're
and
in
it's
a
happening.
whole other time period.
Yeah.
Essentially. I mean, they're in the late 1700s.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure these people are very dead. But,
yeah.
I mean, I know he said it was kind of recent, but it would be interesting.
I said not super recent.
Not super recent. Yeah, 123 years ago. But it would be interesting to see if there's a connection between that and like ESP, of like, were these people potentially able to tap into some weird psychic ability where they unconsciously teleported themselves to a different dimension for 30 minutes or whatever, or an hour.
Yeah. I mean, like, they were, like, walking around. They were...
they were smoking cigs, hitting the fucking jewel, doing whatevs,
It is a very weird thing for me with this story that it's so prolonged.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird one. And they recount a lot of it so well.
Yeah, I agree.
Weird.
It is very strange because like I said, it makes me wonder if they have some sort of strange ESP thing. Because I know people who, some people who do practice their, like astral projection, for example.
Yeah.
Of being able to kind of project their consciousness and do like remote viewing and things. I'm gonna do a whole fucking episode about this, and you have no fucking idea how much I've been reading about like astral projection and like remote viewing. It's a lot.
Dude, astral projection is a lot.
It's going to be a lot. But it makes me wonder if they have that ability.
Yeah.
And with this, but it's just so strange that, from at least so far, it only happened once.
Yeah.
Never again.
I mean, like, the other, like, thing for me is, like, with, like, astral projection and, like, I mean, not necessarily remote viewing, but, like, astral projection is usually, like, when you're going to sleep, right?
Yes. You're in a
like,
meditative state, yes.
So, like, it is very weird that, like, as far as anyone knows, they're fully alert, they're conscious,
Mm-hmm.
and they just fucking...
Yeah, well, they weren't, like, hit by a car. It was asleep,
like,
unconscious in the road. Nothing like that, as far as we know.
You imagine if they went forward in time?
Oh, yeah.
How fucking, like, fucking weird that would be.
They just come back and they're like, Transformers are real.
Fucking what?
We went to the year. So, we went to the year. 2024. They shot a gorilla like a few years before that. They're still talking about it.
Listen, he changed our entire timeline.
Also, this place looks like shit.
I think I would like to stay here. It doesn't look as bad.
Yeah, nothing bad happens in the 1900s. I bet in like 50 years it's gonna be fine. The next 50 years is gonna be great.
It's gonna be so good.
I bet France is gonna be fine. I bet Germany's gonna keep being cool. I bet they won't invent a weapon that has the power of the sun. I bet it's gonna be great out here.
It was in fact not great out here.
It was indeed not great. Yeah.
So, there was there was also a like the church. So there's a ton of things, but so as Moberly and Jourdain stood on a terrace, a young man came outside to tell them to leave. In 1905, the women actually did locate the house that they had seen.
Okay.
But it was in ruinous condition.
Time travel.
So 4 years earlier.
Dude. Time travel gives me allergies as well. So 4 years earlier.
So 4 years earlier, they see this house and it's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
A man even comes out of the house and is like, "Hey."
He's like, "I'll get the fuck out of here." It's more it's more you. Gabagool. But he's like, "Get the fuck out of here. Don't get out of here."
Yeah. So they learned it was a former chapel, but the door that they had seen easily open in 1901 was completely shut. Like, it was sealed shut.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, listen, I know buildings don't just randomly get destroyed in 4 years. That's has never happened.
Less commonly so in 1901 to 1905.
Give it like 10, 15 years, starts becoming a lot more common. Something about like nations fighting each other. I don't know. It's whatever.
So, in their book, the woman wrote, the guide said that the door had not been opened in memory of any man there, not since it had been used by the court. The man warned the women away from the Queen's private entrance to the chapel. Moberly and Jourdain later learned that since 1870, I'm falling apart, it's fine. Since 1870, the gardens and terraces have been made public until dark, and people walk about freely. However, in 1789, a name, there's a typo in here and it says a name named.
A name named.
A man named Lagrange?
Sure.
Was the porter in charge of the Queen's private door. Moberly and Jourdain believed that the man that they had met was Lagrange.
Okay.
Clearly. By 1901, he's super fucking dead.
It's not super
Vampires.
recent. What?
Vampires.
You have my interest again?
He's still alive because he's a vampire, obviously.
I want you to pull every goddamn Frenchman out of his fucking house. Put him in the sun. If he starts to sparkle, we kill him.
This is the skin of a killer. I can't do a very good French accent. You can probably do better than I can.
You just went like super Italian.
I know.
This is the skin of a killer.
It's fine.
You smell like ragu. No, he's like, oh, this is the skin of a killer. That's fucking stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, on October 5th, 1789, Marie Antoinette had sat outside Petit Trianon, and nearby the gardener's daughter picked up leaves. And then a young man ran up with a letter in his hand warning the Queen a group of angry people were approaching from Paris and she needed to race back to the main palace.
Oh.
I think you can guess what's about to happen to Marie Antoinette.
Surprise birthday party?
Oh, definitely not.
Oh, what happened? Well, it's probably fine.
Probably not.
Nah, Marie Antoinette, dude. That's the page. She's the lady of birthdays. It was her birthday that day.
Are you thinking that because she said let them eat cake? That's not what. It's not. That's not what that means.
I tried so hard to keep it together. I tried so hard. I want you to know. I want you to know. I tried so hard to not laugh at that.
It's not what it means.
She doesn't like birthdays?
Not anymore.
Oh. What happened? She get a bad gift or?
Ooh, it's a little worse than that. Just a little bit.
Oh. There was no like receipt or what?
I don't think they had receipts back then.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be really inconvenient. How you gonna go to a TJ Maxx and exchange your shirt, dude?
In fucking 1789.
They were around.
I don't think TJ Maxx was around.
There was probably a guy named TJ Maxx that was around.
Maybe not in France.
Do that, man. All right, dude. Let's continue.
I'm still fucking dying about the let them eat. So Moberly and Jourdain connected the girl's first-hand account of the scene to the young girl Jourdain had seen standing outside the cottage. Her name was Marion, and she was 14 in 1789 when she grew up. She married the head gardener at Versailles. Marion wrote that the messenger was called de Bretagne. I'm probably butchering that. Sorry, I don't speak French. I don't... The urge to say I don't speak douche is strong, but do we have any French listeners?
Not anymore. I know we got a bunch of English listeners from England, in the UK, dude. What's up, baby? Fuck the French, dude. What have they done for us? Like recently, what have they done? Let's get into global politics real quick. let's take a minute. Let's pause the podcast. Let's talk about it.
I don't know anything about it.
I don't know a goddamn thing about anything ever.
Same, honestly. High five.
There you go. I'll high five you. Is that fucking...
Yeah!
Yeah. I'll high five you like it's like I'm not doing it. I did it as a bit. I'm not gonna actually high five you like that.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know anything about politics, especially. I know a lot about dogs. That's all you're getting out of me.
I know a lot about weird shit.
No, it's fair.
Did you know 9/11 caused 50 Shades of Grey?
I did, in fact, know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that MCR inspired Twilight?
Which inspired 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah.
Which caused it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the
whole bit. Yeah. It's a whole lot. It's a lot.
Man. Shout out to the CIA for making My Chemical Romance, I guess. Anyway.
So, Moberly and Jourdain had found de Bretagne in a court almanac from 1783. He would have been 22 in 1789, and the women believed that the man who ran up to them and spoke in a Breton accent was perhaps the same one from Marion's account. The women did not agree on what they experienced. Moberly wondered if they had somehow slipped through time and walked the grounds of Versailles as they had appeared in 1789. Jourdain, on the other hand, proposed that they had slipped into Marie Antoinette's memories from 1789.
Also, I just heard about what happened to Marie Antoinette, dude. I couldn't even do the bit. I couldn't even do the bit, dude. I started laughing immediately. I couldn't do the bit. I failed immediately. You know what, dude? I'm open the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so she really doesn't like birthdays.
Dude.
It's pretty rough, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty bad gift.
So there was no cake?
No.
Oh. Damn. Just found out.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Great. Off. Great. Story's over. I tried doing that bit so fucking hard, dude. I tried. Dude, I've been holding on to that bit for a minute. And I just immediately collapsed, dude. Anyway.
So
also, talk towards the camera. Don't talk towards your phone.
No. I do what I want. The women had visited Versailles on August 10th of 1901 and later learned that on August 10th of 1972 the royal palace in Paris was sacked and the royal family was seized and imprisoned, and the women
1792, not
1992, yeah. No, 1792. I can't read.
It was in the 90s.
So right above the 1792 is the 1901, and I'm fucking dyslexic, so I'm not having a good time. So the royal family was seized and imprisoned, and the women women gradually became convinced that they had seen Versailles as Marie Antoinette remembered it on October 5th of 1789 when she fled from a group of angry people who had the worst birthday gift for her.
It was death. It was prison, then it was death.
Yeah. Well, this is on topic, but also not related to the story. Do you know how we got Marie Antoinette's death mask?
I actually don't.
So...
Was it like eBay or... We have it here in the studio?
Here's our special guest!
Oh, man.
Marie Antoinette's death mask. No, what's her name? The one who does the wax figures.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the like museums, the wax museums.
Oh, like Madame Tussauds?
Yeah, she's the one who got the death mask of Marie Antoinette when they had left her alone.
Mm-hmm.
And she went and she got the death mask.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So like Marie Antoinette's dead, and she's like, I gotta just yeah.
Basically.
She's like, as long as I'm super quiet about this, like unscrews the cap of like the wax, and just like, all right. Into the under her, and she's like,
yeah.
Like, fuck yeah, paid her. Stuffs in her purse.
Yeah.
Like the worst heist movie ever. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's the reason that we have. Sorry. She's the one that really did this. Like she's the reason that we really know what Marie Antoinette looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she basically when beheadings were common, she would go and
Now let's since we're taking a pause for a second,
yeah.
Even though we've been taking pauses this entire episode. This is a podcast. We say it's 17 something, you don't got no smartphone,
yeah.
Yeah. We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Starving. And there's no Uber Eats. And
I don't want to be around anymore.
okay, hold on. Hold on, time out. Now you hear there's a beheading going on.
Yeah.
You going? Check it out. See what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like the saying where they're like, the classic saying where they're like, best way to meet a woman is at a wedding and a funeral. Like that classic saying. What about beheadings? Because I imagine it was mainly a sausage party going on there.
That was actually a very common family event.
Yeah, so were hangings.
Yeah.
We talked about them in our second episode.
It's so wild.
Like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Man.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons that we know what she looks like is because Madame Tussauds went and just took impressions of people's faces after they were beheaded.
Badass.
Isn't that fucking weird?
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty neat. It's pretty interesting. I just thought everyone would like to know that fact. I thought it was a pretty cool fact, honestly. Spirit touched my foot and it scared me. So the clothing, the people, and the grounds all appeared as they would have on October of 1789. The women concluded that quote, we had entered within the working of the Queen's memory when she was still alive. So they kind of just became convinced. Okay, we're not chewing on that. They just kind of become convinced that they were actually just seeing her memories.
Yeah.
Moberly and Jourdain remembered meeting with two officials wearing three-cornered hats and long green coats. When the women asked for directions, the guards coldly directed them down a winding path. I'm super allergic to time travel. As the women conducted research, they learned from someone working at Versailles in 1904 that it was impossible to see those uniforms because green was a royal livery color no longer used in France.
Interesting.
Can you stop fucking chewing on that shit?
I'm sorry.
God. Hold on. Here we go. That's for you. It's a present.
I have a thing. I have a present, apparently. Also, I should probably get back into focus. I'm getting a little too comfortable. Look at this thing, present. Also, I have a haunted doll behind me.
Ooh.
Also, Joey Edwards' art's up there.
This thing is like falling.
It's fun.
They later learned in 1908 that between May of 1789 and October of 1789, Versailles was open to the public and people streamed in to see the palace. Moberly and Jourdain concluded that the mechanical and disengaged manner of the guards may have been because during that period, Trianon officials must have learned to treat strangers with cold politeness, but probably resented the necessity because they're French.
Dude.
If we had any French listeners, we don't now.
Dude, you're coming at the French hot right now.
You know what's funny?
Huh.
I am French. Part French. Yeah. It's just in the wedding's big by the way he made that face.
Okay. Cool. I mean, that's cool.
French, Italian, and Swedish. That's
Mm.
I got a lot of white in there.
Yeah.
I got Spaniard too. A lot of colonizing.
Your words, not mine. You know, I was making something about like pasta, bread, and you know. And then you said Spanish, and I was like, whoa, time out. What are you doing in there? What's going on? The heck? What the heck is going on over there? All right.
Lots of options. So as Moberly and Jourdain researched their strange visit to Versailles, skeptics wondered if they had indeed witnessed a reenactment or, in the words of the 1900s, people posing for a cinematograph in order to register the scene of the messenger running to the Queen. However, Moberly and Jourdain dismissed that suggestion. A reenactment couldn't explain the major changes to the grounds like the bridge, pavilion, or woods.
You're trying so hard to read, but Spirit really wants to be in the podcast. It's Spirit the Turf.
Spirit really wants love right now. This is her time.
Oh my God. This podcast is getting off the fucking rails, dude. Come here. Come on.
There we go. In 1910, the women learned from authorities at Versailles that there weren't any cinematographs filming on the grounds. In August of 1901, Moberly and Jourdain also pointed out that it didn't explain the man who easily opened the great door of the chapel, easily banging it behind him as he came out. For in 1907, the people living in the place believed that it had not been opened since the days of Louis XVI. So it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
This is my favorite explanation that we're about to get into.
Okay.
As to why this story is a thing.
Yes. Also, I need to adjust my camera because now I can't move because I have a dog on my lap.
Hi.
Look at that.
She's got.
Okay, what's their explanation?
So, this explanation is proposed by Philippe Julien in his 1965 biography of the aristocrat decadent French poet Robert de Montesquieu. At the time of Moberly and Jourdain's excursion to Versailles, Montesquieu lived nearby and reportedly gave parties in the grounds where his friends dressed in period costume and performed table vivants as part of party entertainments. Moberly and Jourdain may have inadvertently gate crashed a gay fancy dress party that they may have confused for a haunting. The Marie Antoinette figure could have been a society lady or a cross-dresser. The pockmarked man, Montesquieu himself.
So you're telling me
Mm-hmm.
these women did not time travel, but instead possibly intruded into a gay dress party.
Leave the cat alone.
That sounds correct.
Yes.
That's awesome. It's the coolest thing I've ever heard. Happy Pride Month.
Oh, yeah, there's more Pride Month here.
Yeah.
In a review of the history of the Moberly Jourdain adventure and the extensive public reaction to it, Terry Castle noted with skepticism that the claim that a shared delusion may have arisen out of a lesbian fully ado between the two women.
So you're telling he thinks
You imagine this.
Yeah.
Because you're gay.
You guys were fucking bumping uglies too hard. Got your brains all mixed up. None of what you saw. You weren't crossing a bridge except a bridge to sin. Is what he said. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've never busted so hard that I saw the fucking Renaissance. You know?
You busted so hard you became Marie Antoinette.
That's almost like a Dracula flow line. Bust so hard to become Marie Antoinette. You know, like, no, dude. Absolutely not.
I mean, it's just, I don't think they imagined it because they were having a gay affair. I don't think that's how that works.
I'm gonna go on a limb. I agree. I think that's the dumbest fucking explanation. All the gay people getting together and dressing up in like Renaissance, you know, in like 1700s clothing and being fun and doing whatever. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But two women, you know, as I say, being in lesbians with each other. No, yeah. I don't think that's a real thing. I don't think that's how that works.
Two women being in lesbian with each other?
Yes.
I mean, I think that's just the most reasonable explanation. Who took a chomp out of my phone?
It's the cat. Now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I feel you were very quick to blame the cat.
Let's just get on with the story, can we?
I think I know who took a chomp out of my...
Dude, you need to stop fucking pointing fingers right now.
I'm not.
Yeah, because you don't know which one's the right one, which one's the left one.
Great.
She just wants a hug.
She just wants a hug. Yeah, so that's kind of it. I mean, they basically just... They don't really have an explanation for it.
They just know it was really weird.
They don't have an explanation other than it was either a gay party or they were in lesbian with each other. That's all we got. That's the only explanation. What are you doing, Mama?
Spirit's like, I'm here.
She's here.
Ridiculous. Now, what do you think happened?
That was my ear.
That's great. That's a lot. I'll say what I think happened.
Yeah, you go ahead first.
We'll just checking out that sick Joey Edwards art that's up there. Isn't that fun?
Yeah. I think that it was I think they actually had a time skip.
I think so too. Now, do you think that they were somehow got Marie Antoinette's like knowledge, like
her
memories?
Maybe. I mean, who knows? Stop trying to go for the fucking cat food.
I think that they definitely had some sort of time slip where they kind of slipped back in there on that date for whatever reason, and excuse me, and they were experiencing it, but for why? I don't know.
Why not?
Excuse me.
They just felt like goofing around a little bit.
Just goofing, going to 1700s, just goofing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think it's a very interesting story, though. Have you actually heard of it, or were you making a bit?
No,
earlier?
no, I've heard of it.
Oh, okay.
For this story. Yes.
Okay.
I think it's I don't know, it's so weirdly complex that it's hard to really nail down what I think it is.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that it's necessarily for like they're being facetious. I think it's more or
I think something definitely happened.
Yeah, something certainly happened.
I genuinely don't think it was a shared delusion, though.
No.
Which is one of the theories.
I don't think they were walking through the Garden of Versailles and there's a gas leak. And they're like, it's 1794. And they're fucking, or whatever it is. And they're tweaking. I genuinely think that they experienced some weird, strange phenomena. And I think I'm going to have to do some more research.
Yeah.
And kind of look around. But I know one thing for certain. It's really weird.
It is really weird. I think maybe it's because they were in lesbians with each other and they just...
Mm-hmm.
They busted so hard they became Marie Antoinette.
So fucking hot. Now... Huh? Sorry. Get caught up. Now... No.
I don't know. I think you're being kind of negative. I think that's how that works.
Well, you can't have your cake.
Certainly not.
And get imprisoned and killed. So... Yeah, anyway. Thanks so much for joining us in this week's episode of Haunts, Graves, and Omens.
I think it was a fun episode.
It was fun. It was a little shorter than our usual.
That's okay, though.
Yeah.
I did my best.
You want to just gossip for the next 30 minutes? Any hot goss?
No, not really. You got any hot goss?
I did this bit last week. Now, that's really long. Jeez, shut up. No. But yeah, go, just a little housekeeping, I guess. Go check out the 2 GoFundMes we have going on in the description. Really could help some homies and homies' families. Really nice. Go check out our friend Joey Edwards. Makes us fun art.
Yeah.
It's up there. And let us know what we should name our little friend. She talks, but it's turned off. I think.
For good reason.
For now. Until it turns back on by itself.
Well.
That happened to me. Not particularly that, but I was, Chester.
Yeah.
I'll bring Chester down for next episode.
Yeah.
Nobody can see Chester again. Been a minute. I brought Chester. I moved Chester and out of his box that he's in. Chester's a doll that we have, is a clown doll that I'm convinced is haunted. And I moved him out of his box, and then things in the room started turning on that weren't on by themselves. And I didn't even blink, and just was like, okay.
Great. Thank you, Chad.
Great. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed this episode of Haunts, Graves, and Omens, be sure to like, share, subscribe, or just 5 stars in listening apps. Do the do. You know how this stuff works. Duh. It's pretty simple. You hear from every other show. But if you want to follow me directly or want to follow the show directly, you can. HGOPodcast on fucking everything. HGOPodcast on TikTok. HGOPodcast on Instagram. HGOPodcast. That's it. There's a Facebook, but for some reason it's not updating. I need to fix it. So that's fun. We're also thinking about launching a Discord server. Having the podcast. You guys can communicate with us directly and call us names. If you want to send hate mail, you can, or love mail, or I think that's about it. Or just mail, general stories, whatever you got.
Yeah.
Anything. You can email us at guess what? HGOPodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. If you want to follow me on Instagram directly, you can. And I hunt the haunted. I am there. And I'm also on TikTok and Twitch and I thought everything at I thought. And also, I'm going to be helping some homies record some music stuff. So that'll be out. And go check out the latest MFA record where I do a guest vocal spot on a song called Bring Down the Sun. It's about Chernobyl. It's very fun. Go check that out. I'm on that. Okay.
Hi. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lunar Thrill. You can also follow our dog on Spirit the Turf.
Spirit the Turf.
I just posted a very cute photo of her from the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah. Oh man, we didn't talk about the Renaissance Fair, dude. It was great.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, sunburnt.
Well, I did not.
I drank a bunch of beers.
I also didn't do that.
Some dude sore foot
I did do
in
that.
the bathroom.
Didn't do that.
I had a great time. But yeah.
In the bathroom. There were porta potties.
Anyway, I have a lot of questions.
I'm just concerned.
You were too busy looking at your hands to figure out which one was your left one, which was your right.
Still busy waiting for you to get out of the bathroom.
There was a line.
In the porta potty?
Dude, you need to stop right now.
After you got out of the first line?
I can't believe you're doing this right now on the podcast.
I'm curious.
Remember to stay spooky.
Stay haunted.
Stop asking questions you don't want the answers to.
I do want the answer.
No, you don't.
I absolutely do.
So was there no birthday party, or how did that work?
There was no birthday party.
What happened? She died? When?
In the late 1700s.
Oh, fuck. Oh, thank God. Oh. So not super recent.